This is the New Jersey part in you coming out.
My cousin is in federal prison because he's part of the mafia.
Were you on a podcast with like, so I thought I saw something with like a
Surrounded.
mafia.
Yeah. I was on Surrounded.
Oh, I thought you were saying you were Surrounded. I was like,
no, I was on Surrounded. Yeah, the TV. It's a show on YouTube or whatever it is. I don't know what it is, but yeah,
See,
Jubilee Media. Yeah,
I think that we should build just like a girls-led crime syndication. Do they have that?
I mean, I'm sure somewhere.
That's sad. That's unfortunate that we don't know more about the women.
Maybe
that
women
are
are just
leading.
better than men.
And they haven't gotten caught.
And we do it
smart.
Or we just do shit the right way.
That is true.
Or we make our men do it for us so they get caught and we stay home.
Let's fucking get into it. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the podcast. I am so excited because I'm joined with a friend.
Yeah.
With a friend.
I love that, actually.
This is actually the first time that we've met in real life. Ladies and gentlemen, Heather Glogolich.
It's Glogolich.
Glogolich?
Yeah.
Bro, I literally asked you last time. And I told you. I've been like fucking it up this whole time. And you're not correcting me? Say it again.
Glogolich. You said it. Yeah. I
what?
don't even. Glogolich.
Glogolich.
Yeah. Glogolich.
Glogolich.
Yeah.
Glogolich.
Yeah.
Let me say that again. Ladies and gentlemen, Heather Glogolich.
There you go. Cheers. To our old fashions.
Oh my gosh.
Yay.
Okay, so Heather is in town from New Jersey, Newark, which I'm finding out.
You sure are. You just got the skinny on it.
If I go there, I have to be packing an open carry. Do you guys have open carry there?
Okay, so no, but yes.
Because you can here, you can just walk around.
Yeah, so it used to be like basically nobody could get a gun unless they were a cop. Right, that's how it was in Jersey. And then some people fought it, and then they put it in where you could have concealed carry. But the way it's written, it's technically, it's insane, but you can barely carry it anywhere anyway. So there's a whole bunch of places that are like, nope, can't carry it there, can't carry it there. Like you can't come on campus with a gun unless you check it with a chief, things like that. Even though we're an open campus, crazy enough. So
we can carry here in Arizona anywhere, anytime.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
Like I love that.
The first time that I open carried, I was in a grocery store and like all of the intrusive thoughts were coming to my mind. I was like, I could literally just shoot everybody. I wouldn't do it, obviously, but I'd never had a weapon with like it was loaded, bro.
Yeah.
It was so crazy to think about. And I feel like you guys in the cop world are just so used to it.
No, I am not. So
you're not?
I'll be very transparent about that. No, like every time, and I carry my gun all the time. I actually hate coming on short trips like this because I don't check my gun, right? So you can't with a carry-on, and I can't carry on a plane. So I love having my gun on me. And you know, as we'll talk about what's happening tomorrow, which won't be tomorrow when this airs, but with the summit, I really have done so much work at being able to carry in a way that nobody knows I'm carrying. So I have a really great option for like a belly band, and I have a smaller, like I have a P365, and I have a sweatshirt that I can draw.
Too.
They're so cute, aren't they?
Mine is green.
Mine is not green, it's black. But okay. I also refuse to ever get a pink gun.
Listen, I love or like pink. The Tiffany blue, like the Robin's egg.
Oh, I might do that.
No.
Well, because it's still blue.
I bedazzled it. What's
I wouldn't bedazzle it. No.
I mean, if it still shoots,
I guess.
And it's got a couple sparkles on it.
Yeah, like, I'm not a sparkle kind of girl. My friend Betsy is. She will. Man, I wish everybody knew Betsy. No, Betsy's the kind of person that if you don't know her, you probably are like, I want nothing to do with this girl because she is high energy. She's just like, she walks in and I think sparkle rainbows shoot out of her ass. So you have to be the right kind of person to be around her.
Okay.
She is the most amazing, resilient woman I've ever met. And she's the kind of person that I don't know how, but all of a sudden she feels what I'm going through without even talking to me. And I'll have like a card show up at my house that has a fuck ton of like glitter, and I want to kill her because I hate glitter.
That's rude.
But like, it's just a part of the card, and she'll just be like, "You're Superwoman, and I love you, and I thought you need to know." Or like, I just got into the National Academy, and out of nowhere, like 3 days later, I got a bracelet in the mail from her.
Let's freaking talk about it, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, okay.
Do share the news because that's a big That's a big thing in a police officer's career. So do tell.
It is. And not a lot of people even know about it. And even less women know about this opportunity. So the FBI National Academy is not for the FBI. And most people think it is.
Yeah.
But what it is this elite like leadership and mentorship, honestly, program where you're doing physical training, you're doing college level and graduate level courses, but it's about things like leading at-risk employees in a way that you have to be a lieutenant and above to even be able to apply. There's usually a 4 to 5 year waiting list. Less than I think 3% of all law enforcement officers even get in. And that's across the world. That's not just the United States. And so I really always wanted to go because I was like, man, this is just incredible to me. And it's 10 weeks, it's in Quantico, and you're working side by side with a bunch of people and you stay there.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I'm just so stoked. It's like the career dream for me. Now everybody's like, oh, don't you want to be chief someday? Sure, if that opportunity comes around. But this is something for me.
I can totally see you as a chief.
I mean, thank you.
I can see that, dude, for sure.
I mean, my chief doesn't have much time left.
It feels like a natural step for the way that you conduct yourself on socials. And that's really the only exposure that I have of working with you.
Right.
And kind of like seeing what you put out there and just like your overall approach to the work that you do. And it feels like that would be a natural step to see you step into a role like that. So with the National Academy, how long ago did you apply for it?
So I had wanted to apply when I was at Morris Township years ago. I probably, like 8 or 9 years ago. And then when I transferred out of Morris Township, where I spent 18 years of my career, I was a lieutenant. I knew I wasn't going any further. I was actually ready to retire. 20 years, I was going to leave. I'm like, I'm out. I have my doctorate, which actually I just celebrated my 3 years of having my doctorate yesterday.
Ma'am. I asked her, I was like, so what are the titles? Okay, so we have the Women's Summit that's coming up. We'll talk about it. And I'm like, what are the titles, like the letters? And she's like, Heather's fine. This bitch has a doctorate. She is Dr. Heather Glogolich.
Ooh, and you said it right.
That's right.
Yes, girl.
It deserved it.
Thank you.
It deserved it. So continue, doctor.
Yeah. So I was just going to retire. Like, I'm like, oh, my kids will be getting ready to graduate high school. I'll get a full-time job at a higher education institution. My kids will go for free. And then I got the opportunity. I spoke at NJIT and the chief is like, I think we need you on our team. And I was like, I don't know how that works. Like, nobody in New Jersey's ever transferred into a position at another agency at my rank ever. Like, not even you don't go in as sergeant, lieutenant.
That is interesting.
Yeah.
Wow.
Never, not once. You can be a police director, you can be a sheriff, but because those are like elected or appointed positions, but usually every person that makes it to chief, captain, lieutenant comes up through the ranks of their own agency. So for me, this was an opportunity, one, to be like, you know what? You're not stuck where you're at. If my agency could do it, your agency could do it. If you're not happy, leave. And you're worthy of what you deserve. And I knew I was worthy of more.
Say it.
Yeah, I knew I was worthy of more. And whatever that entailed, it was. But I really do believe, funny enough, a really good friend of mine, Jess, I just recently met her wife. And we met each other and we were both like, oh my gosh, I feel like I already know you just because of Jess's social medias and like talking. And I love her. I met her at DC at Police Week and we're talking. And then today, like through Snapchat, we're just like going back and forth with messages. And she's like, oh my gosh, have so much fun in Arizona. I was like, yeah, I'm there for literally 14 hours, I think. I was like, I think people don't really understand that I don't get to have much fun when I travel. Like it's fun and it's work, right? Like this is fun. Interacting tomorrow is going to be amazing. But it's the stress of the airports and boo-hoo me. I get it. Like people will look at it like this, but I'm leaving my family.
It's rough, dude. And you're in a random bed.
Yeah,
you're eating bullshit
next to people
food.
Whose breath smells on the fucking plane.
You're having small talk everywhere you go.
Everywhere. And listen, I wore a tank top today. I never do that. I always usually have a sweatshirt when I go on a plane because I'm cold. I must have gotten stopped by about 12 people that were like, yo, your sleeves are hot. I'm like, thank you. I sent my husband a message. I'm like, I feel like I've arrived. But I'm messaging Kelly on the plane or whatever. She's like, yeah, you're so famous. You're so important. Everybody wants to be near you. I go, no, the thing is that I think my purpose is to make sure that everybody feels that they're important. Like, however that is. And she goes, I hope you know that you're important too. I go, I'm not important. I'm just someone who understands what her purpose is. And that took me a really long time to be able to articulate because, you can play it on words however you want, but I think that my purpose is to make people feel seen. And I've always done that in my career, no matter what. Like when I'm on a scene, whether it's the person I'm arresting, whether it's a victim, whether it's a witness, I've always strived without knowing how to articulate it, that person in that moment is the most important person in the room. I don't care if I'm there for a barking dog complaint. Ma'am, you called 911. You called and you asked for my assistance. I may think that this is the dumbest shit to call a cop over, but I'm not going to make you feel that way.
So where did that come from? Was there like a space in your life growing up where you didn't have that same type of like the same kind of response to you, where someone was always reminding you that like you matter? Like what makes you want other people to know that?
I think it's because of how I was raised. My parents are that way. They've just always been these people that were so thoughtful and so inclusive and so kind. My dad could talk to a park bench and get a conversation back. And I think it's just, I saw them, and I think without being able to really verbalize or understand what I was doing. And now, retrospectively, when I'm 46 years old and you start to really build your why and understanding, and you want your children to emulate what your legacy could be. I think that I've realized that because of the people that they are and how they raised me and the integrity that I have and the set of core values my parents gave me, they never let me make anybody feel small. They always were like, you never quit anything you start. If you're giving something,
I'm like, give me the core values. Like, what are like the core values you're raising your kids with?
It's own who you are, be authentic, don't lie. And here's something that I've given my kids that my parents didn't, because they weren't raised that way. I have taught my kids that self-care is not selfish and that they come first, no matter what. Because I've started to put myself first, right? My cup has been so emptied. And so then they don't get what they need from me. And so I have always told them that it doesn't matter what anybody else thinks of you. And that's not how I was raised. My parents were very much like, your reputation is everything. The way you present yourself is important. You have to, now it looks like to me like shrinking.
Give.
Even a conversation I had with my mother when I was younger, I will always remember this. And I don't fault my mother, because she came from a place of, no social media, know the things that we deal with.
Right on the other side of like some like major treacherous like war shit happening. Like we're so far ahead of them because we've been so like distant from some of those like major like just like threatening life experiences. Like, we don't. There are plenty of people that do, but for us, we're so removed from that part of our history in America.
Yes and no. We had Iraq, we had the Middle East war, we had the wall falling.
But all of that stuff was like far enough away.
Then we had 9/11.
Oh, that was hella close to you.
It really was.
That was hella close
to you.
Right,
which is incredible when I travel the country. And even when I hire cops now, I'm like, were you born before 9/11? And that's our, right? And with our parents, it was like, were you around when JFK was shot? Like, where were you? For us, it's like, where were you when 9/11 happened? And it's just, for me, it's like, my mom was always like, your expectations are too high. Like, you ask too much of people. And at a very young age, I was able to say to myself, respectfully, without a conversation with her, because I knew she wouldn't understand, because that's just not how she raised and who she was. She accepted people where they were at. She loved them where they were at. She gave up part of who she was to make everybody else comfortable. And I see the way that she is now in her life and how that still affects her negatively. And so for me, I was like, no, that's not going to be me. Like, if I'm going to hold myself to high expectations, the people around me should be there too.
I think that that's a really, I think that if you're going to be successful and you're going to create a world that you have complete ownership of, you have to approach your relationships with higher expectations. I'm currently going through this with my son, where he's just like, you are doing too much, mom. Like, you expect too much. You want too much. Or like, you think of me that way and I don't see it. And I'm like, it doesn't matter if you can't see yourself. I see you. I see what success looks like in you, or like I'm getting like a glimpse of what it could be. And I also like know that when you don't have high standards and you just accept life for what it is, I've seen that outcome. Like, I've lived that for a little bit, and the feeling, it's all hard. Living a shitty life and having high standards, it's all fucking hard. The only positive with having a high standard and having the courage to do something crazy is like, you can actually have more fun. You get to like experience more of your dreams coming true, like your vision board shit happening right in front of you, versus like, it's hard to suck. You know what I mean?
But I'm going to ask you a question now. Don't you sometimes envy the people that just are oblivious? That are like, you know what?
No.
Okay, I'm like back and forth.
Because because the moments where I'm sitting and I'm thinking like, it's so painful right now that I'm being so stretched and I'm feeling so much pressure and responsibility right now. They're feeling the same intensity, but with regret.
I don't think they are. And I think that's because you and I are different personalities than some other people.
But like regret shows up in different ways of like, they're sitting there going like, why can't I have, or why me? That's all.
But I know people that
versions.
don't do that. I know people that are super happy with the simplicity of their lives.
Well, that's different.
No, and that's what I meant. That's what I meant. I was asking.
I think that everyone, you know, I look at like, I was just talking to my daughter about this the other day. My son is a leader and my daughter is a follower. And she's like, and I said, oh, do you not think that you are? And she was like, well, that just sounded so rude. And I was like, I don't think it's rude. Leaders can't be leaders without followers.
Amen.
There's nothing wrong with that. We all have a thing that makes us feel safe. For me, someone telling me what to do, kiss my ass, the whole thing. For her, she does not want to be calling the shots. She wants to be in that supportive role. So it really just comes down to, do you know yourself? And then also you said something earlier about like walking away from something that doesn't fucking work for you. Like if you're not happy, goodbye.
Yeah.
And I think that a lot of cops are in this place of, you know, building their whole lives around the job that they have, the salary that they have, the problems that they have. They've gotten real fucking familiar with. Mm-hmm. They're comfortable with those problems and they're unwilling to take on new problems to change their reality. And it is hard to do. It is hard to lateral. It is hard to learn a new skill. It's hard to be the fucking new guy.
Yeah.
But it's also hard to hate your fucking life.
Yeah, it's almost like people would rather hate their life than change.
Because it's familiar. And it's when everything
I'm here and living it. I get this part of it. But if I change, I don't know what that's going to look like. And I don't give a fuck. Because I've been forced into change.
Well, because you trust yourself enough to know that like
now
when there's something that's unfamiliar, you trust that you can handle it.
But that's such a key point. And I love that you said it because this is the conversation I have with people who ask all the time. They're like, you do so much. And I was like, you know what? Because I've gotten good at figuring shit out. I've been given enough shit in my life where I've seen that I have risen above and I've figured it out. But for people who have never had that challenge, for people who have been given everything their whole life, for who get to go to college and have and I'm not knocking them at all. I'm just saying that when you didn't grow up in a house where maybe you had to worry about how you were going to eat and you saw your parents argue because there wasn't enough money and you saw your parents work 7 jobs combined in order to just make sure you had $35 to play rec sports, or where you couldn't have a school ring. Like it's the petty bullshit. Or then you get into a relationship that you're not expecting and you have to raise a 20-month-old and an 8-month-old by yourself and be a single mom and a cop and work through that. And then, you know, oh, you got passed over. Well, you have to make the decision on whether or not you felt that was justified to move forward with a lawsuit, and what are you going to do, and this and this and those decisions that come with you. So like those leadership values that we want to instill, they have to start on every single level, the personal, the professional. It's like when you're given the opportunity to figure shit out, and we don't let people do it enough. We give people the answers too much. When they have to figure shit out when it's hard, it's harder and they're scared to. That's that balance, right? So that's for me, grit. I didn't know I could figure shit out until I was forced to figure shit out. And I'm really good at it. So for me, I'm never like, so years ago, not that many years ago, but more than a couple years ago, I had a breast cancer scare and there was a lump. And, you know, I told, and this is something that my husband knows. It's kind of where our relationship deteriorated for a little bit. I'm very alpha. I'm very high growth needs. I'm very like, I'll take care of shit. Like I don't.
You have 0.04 seconds to respond when I say I need help or I'll do that shit.
I'm the meme, right? Like I've asked you once. I don't ask, make, tell in my home life. I ask and then I do myself. But
I love that.
Yeah. For me, I was like, you know, like I make decisions all day long.
Yeah.
I don't want to come home and figure out fucking dinner. Do it.
Man.
Right. Like I'll be a follower there.
Can we add a little plug right now? If you people are not signed up with Cook Unity, I'm not sponsored at all. And that is the move. You have to stop making these decisions when you get home. Cook Unity is the move. Go sign up. Get your meals delivered every week. They're chef-made meals. They're not frozen. They're so fucking good. And like you're feeding your family and you're not thinking about it. Okay,
now
go
I
on.
want to know.
I
want to know.
Girl, I'll bring you one tomorrow for lunch.
Amen. So I like have this breast cancer scare and I tell him about it. And this was a deteriorating moment in our relationship because I'm always like, we are both in the first responder world. He's not a cop. But for me, I'm always, I'll handle it. I've got it. And I'm wanting to break a little when I hear, that I find this lump and they're going to do all the things that need to go along with it. And so I'm going for a mammo, I'm doing the things, they're going to do a biopsy and all this. And I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to fucking worry about it. I'm just like, I don't know. Why am I going to sit here and spend the next couple weeks or however long it's going to take? Cause you never get the right answer depending on which doctor you go to of how long the process is going to take to know and all things. I'm like, well, I'm not going to worry about something that I don't know the answer to, but we're in our bedroom and I specifically remember it. And I'm sitting there. And I was like, I don't want to tell anybody. I don't want to tell my mom. I don't want to tell your mom. I don't want to tell the kids. Like, let's just figure it out together. And he breaks down. And I'm like, no, motherfucker.
No.
This is not.
This is my time. You're holding me up. Okay.
No. This is what I need from you. And I got so mad at him, but didn't express it. I like walked out of the room and like, that was such a good, and I held on to it for a while. Right. I mean, and I know you and I have talked about what resiliency looks like. And I think people talk so much about what self-resiliency looks like and trying to help other people be resilient. They don't realize that there's a component of our intimate relationships that needs to have resiliency too.
Ma'am. Co-regulation.
And I held on to it and I got mad and then more things started happening. And it's like, it's only till recently that I've been able to be like, I need help. And I'm fine. I didn't have breast cancer, by the way. Just probably should put that out there.
Okay, good.
It was just extra fatty, all the shit. But like, because I had lost so much weight, it was like presenting finally. So, we broke down then and I started to push myself away from him. And I am not a woman that needs anybody in my life. I don't need anybody. But if I want you in my life, like, man, you better realize what a gift that is. Because again, I'll ask, but if you don't do it, I'll do it. Like, I'm going to build a fucking shed if you don't figure out how to make a new shed because ours is down.
Yeah.
Or like our downstairs flooded last year. We had a whole flood at our house and he's not used to that. I grew up in a flood zone. So this shit was easy as pie. He's freaking out. I'm like, can you calm the fuck down? Like, our shit is fine. Like, I've got it. And then he's like, all right. And I'm like, I'll call a remediation company. I'll look at this remediation company. They're like $6,000. I'm like, fuck you. I can tear down the walls. I get like a little fucking hacksaw. He's like, what are you doing? He comes. That's just the personality I am. And you had kind of mentioned that you wanted to talk about what that was like to have that partner that's supportive. I was going to
say, I'm like, this is all just, it's so important to, I like that you're talking about the breakdown of like that season and how that does happen because that is a part of it, right? It's not always like everything is working out and everybody's getting all of their needs met. There are those moments.
Yeah.
But I think that, a lot of the people that fuck with Tact Mobility are high achieving women that, are trying to accomplish a lot in their lives. And it requires this support system at home. If you do have a family, and this could be your friends are supporting you and kind of stepping into that role. Like you need, going back to that co-regulation, you need to have people around you. But yeah, I want to talk about your husband. So, having a wife that is a high achiever, that's getting on a plane, that has, and are you like the kind of girl, like if I have an idea, we're making it happen tomorrow.
Oh yeah.
We're full speed ahead.
Oh yeah. And it's getting done.
It's getting done.
Yeah, like there's no failure in my life. No.
Not at all. And it's going to be
fuck
fucking
up the
awesome.
routine, the way I do it, but I'll find another path and it'll get done.
Yeah. So like having a wife like that it's a handful.
Exhausting. My husband is probably exhausted. My kids are even more exhausted. Like I'm exhausting.
Oh my God.
To my family and my friends.
It feels so good. Yeah. But like also like they probably wouldn't have it any other way.
You want to call them? Because me and my son are fighting right now.
But
we're fisticuffs at the moment.
having a partner that's supportive at home is important. So like, what does that look like for you when you have an idea and you're like, I am thinking about applying for the National Academy? Is there this is what I've decided? How do we not work around that? Is there hey, let's talk about this thing that I've been wanting to do? Is there like, tell me like the process for that?
This has been a stage of growth.
Where you include him in your decisions?
So for people who don't really know, I came out of an abusive marriage, which was not very long. But my parents didn't do this stuff, right? We didn't travel much. We didn't, and cops don't normally travel much. We get so stuck in our little area and like we'll vacation, but what I do it was unheard of in my realm, especially for women, feeling that I could be empowered enough to get up and just leave my family and make sure that he takes care of it. And people are like, oh my gosh, it's so nice that your husband babysits your children. I'm like, bitch, he's the father. He's not a babysitter. He's the father.
He's literally doing his job.
When he goes out with his friends, by the way, my husband has no friends, and I don't say that as a dig. He just loves me and can't stand other people. He's like, no, I'm good at home. Do they go to him and be like, oh, it's so nice that your wife is babysitting the kids? Has anybody ever fucking heard that? No. Right? So why the fuck not? And that was kind of my mindset. And so when Matt and I started dating, this poor child, he was 22 and I was 31, just divorced with
You dirty hoe.
I mean, yes.
I'm so proud of you.
Yeah.
Can we cheers to that? You're a dirt bag.
Can I tell the quick story real quick? Like, can I actually tell the
Of
story?
when you stole him out of the cradle?
This has to be an 18 and over
22?
audience. Bitch, 22. And I hope my in-laws don't listen. My in-laws might listen to this. And they kind of know the story, but okay.
20.
Ready for the stereotype? He was my dispatcher. But not where I worked in my agency because we had a county. So we didn't actually work for me. This is the story though. So we got rid of our dispatch system and went to a county system.
You were like flirty with him when you were
No, not at all.
Okay.
So cops are assholes. I think
no, I've never heard this before.
We kind of bust balls all the time. And I'm a huge ball buster. Like I'm all good. Like bust my balls back. I'm going to bust yours. Don't be a dick. Don't talk shit behind my back. That's not ball busting. That's fucking shitty. I'm the same way. If I'm going to make fun of you to your face or behind your back, it's going to be your face is what I should say. But so he's on my desk and my husband, when I heard his voice, I'm like, who is this very large, sexy sounding black man on my desk? That's what I said. Like his voice sounds like a deep, like,
I was like, wait a minute, you have a black husband?
Like Denzel Washington, like, oh, right? I was like, okay.
You're like, be cool.
So
be
I had to
cool.
like walk up there and I had like get paperwork almost every night because we didn't have a system of like getting rid of like criminal histories and shit like that. So we had to take it, file it, do the shit. I walk up there and I look and I go, this kid looks 12. So I walk over and I'm like, you're on my husband's, and maybe we can post a picture. He's a beautiful man now, I think so, but I was not attracted. He looked 12. I'm not a pedophile. I'm not attracted to him at all. He's like Edward in Twilight, where he turns and he's so skinny, the sun shines through his body. Like he just, yeah. And I was like, oh my gosh, you're cute. Did your mommy sign your working papers to work here tonight? Because it was an overnight.
And he's like, you're my mommy.
Like, no, he was not.
You became his mommy.
No. I will never be a man's mommy again other than my son. So, and maybe my grandkids. But so his trainer pulls me aside. He's like, Heather, I need you to not fucking make fun of him. And I was like, why? That's what we do. And he's like, no, I need you to lay off. And I was like, bitch, that's not what we do. Bye. And he's like, no. And he pulls me aside. He's like, Heather, he's like, lay off the way he looks. And I'm like, oh shit. And he's like, dude, he's 22. Like this is his job. But like, he looks like that because he's in remission for leukemia. And I'm like, fuck.
Oh, you're a dick.
I'm going to hell. God hates me. I'm a dick. And now I'm like, well, fuck. So I always pick up coffee for the dispatchers because I think that they're the unsung heroes. Like
Amen.
Yeah.
Amen.
So everybody would pay me and he'd go pay me. I'm like, no, you're good. Like buying his coffee would get me back into God's good graces, right? Yeah. Well, he thought I was flirting with him because everybody else was like, she doesn't buy us coffee. Like, why is she buying you coffee? Right? Because now he doesn't know I know. And so I'm like, divorced recently. And so I have things like Friendsgiving and friends over and I do that stuff. And so I invite Cancer Boy over with like the rest of the people that don't have significant others. And now he really thinks I'm interested.
Because it's a date, obviously.
Well, no, everybody's there.
No, but it's a date.
It's not a date.
He's like, no, yeah, she's having me over
it's
for
not
dinner.
A date. He is this 22-year-old cancer-ridden child.
I would love to know like what's happening in his brain at that moment where
He'll
just
100%
like,
tell you. You can call him later.
Oh my God.
He's like, look at this. And I did not look like how I look now. Like I just, I was surviving at that point. And so one night he ends up, I'm drunk and I'm like, dude, rub my feet. Cause I was an asshole. I pass out, him rubbing my feet on my couch with everybody around us at my house hanging out. And I wake up and he's like this, and my legs are across him. I'm like, what's going on? And there's another guy who none of us knew were gay that like tried to basically sexually assault him with my legs across. So basically I'm a hero. I saved his life because my legs were dead weight across his penis. So nothing could happen. I'm not making light of that, everybody. But I wake up and the one guy has like a penis drawn on him. Like it's just whatever. He's passed out.
Is hilarious.
He's like, I need to go. And he like rushes out of the house and he calls me the next day. And I was like, hey man, if you're gay or whatever, like I support it. Like I love gay people, whatever floats your boat. I'm about love. He's like, no, I'm not really into somebody like that. I'm like more into like somebody like you. And I was like, oh, here we fucking go. Right. And I'm thinking, this kid can't like me. Like I'll break his heart. That's like where I'm at. I'm not looking for a relationship. Like I just, whatever. So now it's like, I'm like, okay, cool. I gotta go. Bye. And I hang up on him. And now it's like a couple days before New Year's Eve. And I bring everybody over and we're drinking hook juice. And Hook juice is like Hawaiian punch, a bunch of alcohol. It tastes like juice.
That's disgusting.
And it's
Hawaiian
amazing.
punch.
It's and Gatorade and all the things. And it's like this big Gatorade thing. Oh, and you don't remember shit. It's like,
I can imagine,
but so good. And so I now know he's interested, and I was single and I was drunk. And so I kissed him. And 6 hours later, he leaves my house. This is why this has to be PG. And he calls me the next day. And I was like, fuck. I'm like, and I couldn't say his last name, just like you can't say Glogolich. I couldn't say it. So I called him Google. That was his nickname forever. And he's like, hey. And I'm like, hey. And he's like, so, can I like maybe take you out to dinner? And I was like, oh, that's so cute. You don't have to. No, it's fine. And I'm thinking in my head, like, oh God, I'm like gonna break this kid's heart. Like I can't do this. And he's like, no. Like really, like I think you're great. I want to take you out on like a real date. I'm like, that's really sweet, but like, I'm just not in a place. Like, go find your own baggage, dude. Like, we're good. You're 22. I have a 3-year-old and a 2-year-old. Bye-bye. Right. And he's like, well, listen, I know you're used to getting what you want, but I'm taking you out to dinner. And I was like, oh.
Say less.
Who is no. And then I was
What?
like, because in my head, I'm like, this kid's in remission for leukemia. Like, I'm not equipped for this.
Yeah.
And like, and so I go, listen, man, I guess I got to be honest with you. I'm like, Cornetta told me that, oh shit, I said, whatever. Cornetta told me that you're in remission from leukemia. Like, I can't break the heart of a leukemia patient. I can't do it. He's like, what are you talking about? I don't have leukemia. The guy fucking lied.
That was the long game, bro. Wow.
He had no idea. He's like, Cornetta's been telling people everything about me as a joke, like different things, like all the things, which is probably why the guy thought he was gay, because that was one of them. And I'm like, all right, man, then we can go out. Let's go out to dinner. Fuck it. And 363 days later, he proposed. 8 months later, we were married. 2 months later, we were pregnant, and we'll be celebrating 13 years this summer. But one of my core statements to him was, you will never tell me what I can and cannot do. You will never make me feel guilty about who I am and who I want to be. I'm going to mess up, and I'm going to mess up a lot, and you're either going to love me through it or you're not. And like, we will never yell at each other. You will never call me a name. And you will never lie to me. And as long as we can do that and we can be open and honest, this will be fantastic. And that's what it's been.
What are his like non-negotiables with you?
He didn't have any.
That is so interesting, because what that says to me is that he is like secure enough in who he is and like healed enough to not have these like damaging things, right? Because think about like those like non-negotiables that you just said. How many of those are coming from that first relationship where like those things weren't allowed? And so now we've decided like these are the things that they have to go by. I feel like having a healthy person in your life that has like green flags everywhere is so understated, but I think so important when it comes to a highly successful or ambitious woman. And I think that you said something about him being like, I know you're used to getting your way.
Yeah.
Listen,
Like I
Any
like
of the
that.
boys
I
that are
like that
listening?
daddy energy.
Oh,
Woo!
Josh has got that daddy energy. That's the.
I can't wait to meet Josh.
That's the move. But he doesn't present that way. He's like very
Matt's the same way.
He is the guy. He's a guy's guy. Everybody wants to be his friend, or the guys want to, they're always like saying gay shit to him. Like he's just that incredible guy. And so he doesn't lead with, I'm putting my foot down. But when we got in a relationship, same kind of situation where I was like, I had just been recently divorced. I'm, listen, this doesn't have to be anything. I'm trying to like figure out who I am.
Yeah.
I don't need anyone. This is a bonus. And I was very much in that place of like saying what I want. And it was in that place that I ended up like attracting somebody that was meeting all of those needs.
Yeah.
I didn't realize, because I was married, we were together for 14 years.
Whew.
Yeah. And I didn't know that I could dream when we were together. I know that almost made me emotional right there.
It did just make me emotional.
I didn't know that I could dream. I thought that I had that I was just going to be a certain kind of person. I was going to live a certain kind of life. And I was just always going to keep wanting and wishing that I had what that girl had.
But in the same time, you have to be grateful for what you have. And that's how we were raised.
So I didn't have that component to it, but I can see how so many people do, where it's like, you've got, all this stuff on paper and it looks a certain way. So you should be really thankful.
Yeah.
I just was always envious of other people. Like I had these like dreams in my mind, like ever since I was a little kid, of feeling like I was so special. There was something unique and different about me, but the people around me treated me as if that wasn't true. So I just sort of like accepted that was real.
Yeah.
And then when, I decided to fuck up my world and have a bunch of sex with people that I wasn't married to, that really kind of showed me like, I have to take control over my life. And I went down this road of like, okay, now I have to be like really obedient, and I have to be like really like just cookie cutter, and I have to be perfect. And then when I realized that wasn't going to fix everything and our marriage dissolved, I realized there's no fucking playbook. There's no, all of it has been I don't even know the right word to say it, but it was almost like I realized like I was living by this rule book that I didn't have any fucking part of writing. Like,
and you should be the author of your own story.
100%. And so I was just like, oh, I can just like start saying what I want. Like I can just start living and saying no to things, or saying, yes, I want to do that. Like realizing that I didn't, and this is really like silly, but for me, it was really big. Realizing that I didn't have to hug people that I didn't want to hug.
Girl, stop right there. I love that you just said that. And I do this all the time. And when like even family members are like, oh, go give your Aunt Heather, or go give Heather a hug, I'm like, no. I'm like, are you okay with me hugging you? Because we can fist bump. Like, you have the right to say yes or no. And like, I'm not going to take offense to it, because it's not that, maybe you're just not in the mood to be touched.
Yeah.
I love that you said that, because that's so empowering. But something you said about being envious of others, I can honestly say I've never been envious of others. I've been inspired by others. I've been envious of the person that I could be and not being there.
See, and that's right there. Like it's like a small, tiny grain of self-trust that you're trying to make your way back to.
Yeah.
And I think that exists in every woman that is a high achiever. And I'm thinking specifically about police officers. And I don't know if this is just the sappy in me, but I think about like, and I'm also like creating a story in my mind, because I'm not a cop, but I imagine, and just share with me like what resonates and what doesn't with this, that when girls decide to be a cop, that there is like this small voice that's like, I'm made for more. Like I can do something like magical and special. And I feel like it's like this, like, I don't know. It just seems like women that are doing this job inherently know that there's something that's a big deal about them.
What resonates with me with that is that I feel as though maybe I just want this to be a gift to all women, regardless of their profession, that anything that they do helps them serve a higher purpose. Like if you choose to be...
But bitch, you're fucking wearing a gun and you're dealing with crazy shit. That's the component that makes me go, you have to know that something about you is so extraordinary to do that. You're not in accounting thinking about your purpose, bitch. You're walking.
We love you, accountants.
Yes.
You do my taxes
several times.
I love you.
Several years in accounting. But it's not the same as walking into a house going like, I could be jumped. I could be raped. I could be shot. I could be killed in order to save somebody's life. Like that is something that is so uniquely special, I think, to women police that.
I mean, I think it's unique to a lot of like you. I mean, I have a friend who I think she moves all the fucking time, but I'm pretty sure she's in Texas now. Katie, she is an MMA fighter. She's incredible. She's a big jujitsu girl. But she's an ER nurse. And like some of the shit she tells me about the way that she has to sacrifice, like, and that's what that's about. Like, and even you, and I don't want to discount what you do, because with TAC Mobility, you know, when we talk about sacrifice, I think so many people think of that as, oh, our holiday's off. That's what they think they're sacrificing or something like that. But we sacrifice a sense of our own wellness because we take on everybody else's trauma. And somebody asked me this question, and it was such a great question. Do we think that the transition to empathetic policing is a hazard of the job? And it 100% fucking is. Because you're asking cops to take down the wall all the time, to not compartmentalize, to not do the things that are self-serving for themselves sometimes, in order to be more empathetic, which means we're feeling more, we're dealing with more, we're like processing more, we're hyper vigilant more. And that's the sacrifice that's concerning to me for first responders, whether you're a fireman, police officer, a dispatcher, a nurse, like whatever, military, whatever you are. There's this level of self-sacrifice for our brain and our heart and our emotions and our sympathetic nervous system and all of the things that come along with being empathetic. It's a huge
100%
ask.
I think so. I think that this is where we were talking earlier about the mindset shift.
Yeah.
And I feel as if this is the area where you start to grow and realize that like you don't have to carry the old like the old narratives into today, which are that it is a sacrifice and it is depleting and all the things. Like, yes, it is depleting, but that is why if we're going to love hard, we have to recover hard.
Yeah.
Like as your experiences and the pressure around them start to escalate, so does your recovery and the seriousness of like how you put energy back into your body, so that it's not this self-sacrifice. It's for me, the way I think about it is, you know, I have a job where I get to help people realize that they fucking matter and that I just get to be like friends with people. So I've been thinking about this fucking summit, which we haven't talked about, and I'm not keeping track of time, but we have this 2-day Women in Public Safety Performance Summit happening tomorrow. And we've got 30 women coming in from all across the country. And I just keep thinking about it. I'm like, I'm just inviting a bunch of friends over.
Yeah.
And we're going to fucking play and we're going to fucking learn where mistakes are going to be made. That's like part of like my opening speech that I'm doing is like, mistakes are welcome. Like that's part of it.
Fail forward.
But then like realizing, okay, I'm going to be giving and giving and giving and giving these next couple of days. So what am I doing ahead of time? How am I planning the recovery beforehand? So I started my recovery 2 weeks ago. I have recovery built into every night of this summit. And then also the weekend, I'm bookending my high energy output with that, because I've outgrown this narrative that like doing the work that I do is going to deplete me and I'm going to be burnt out.
Yeah.
No, I actually know what's going to happen to my body at the end of this, because I know I'm confident in what I'm going to bring to the table. And I also know the cost.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to set myself up.
Amen.
And just go into it not worrying about like, oh my God, I'm going to be like a wreck on Monday. No, I'm not. I have fucking acupuncture and I have massages scheduled. And also I'm not taking a bunch of meetings next week. Like, it's fine.
Yeah.
And I want to talk about your mindset in terms of like, what are the things that you've realized? Okay. So you're 46.
I am.
It's 2026.
Sure is. Born in 1980, baby. Woo! Best decade ever.
What's like a mindset shift that you've made, or like a story that you realize that you've outgrown?
There are so many. I don't even know where to choose.
The newest one where you're like, that doesn't feel right anymore. If I try that on, it doesn't quite match where I'm at anymore.
Wow. That is such a great question. And it has so many layers to it. I think the one I'm struggling with, can I talk about that one? Is the shift between the parent I was for my, I'm going to get emotional. The parent I am and was to my older two, and the parent I am for my younger two.
I read a post the other day where someone was saying, it was a video about like somebody like needing their mom, and in the comment section someone said, I want my sibling's mom.
Yeah.
And that resonated so much, like the survival that existed when you probably had your first two, and the mindset that you were in of like, you've got to have it all, you've got to take care of it all, is probably so different than where you're at now.
Yeah. I mean, I see the success in my younger two and the people that they are and how happy they are with who they are. And I see the struggles my older two have. And I know a lot of that has to do with who their father was, but I can't put all the blame on that, right? Because I am a product of the choices that I make, and I'm trying to empower them to realize that they're also a product of the choices that they make. That they can be a victim of their own life if they choose to be, but they can also be a warrior of their own life if they choose to be. I survived as a parent with them. I did not do a lot of things right. They survived. They're alive. I kept them alive. Yay. But I'm a better person now. And so I was I wasn't a really young mom, but I was in my mid 20s, and I don't think I was at a place that I gave them the best version of who I am, and the best version of you continues. Like, somebody's like, oh, how does it feel to be 46? I'm like, I fucking love it. Like, bring on the 50s. Because every year I get older, I love my life even more. I love who I am. I love who I've grown into. I love the empowerment I give myself. I love how I know when to speak up. I know when to keep quiet. I'm not good at that sometimes, but I still know there are times that I should. But like, I look at my younger two, and everybody will always say that like my youngest is my favorite. It's not.
It's so unfair.
But it's not that she's my favorite. It's that I've fucked up so many times.
100%.
With the first one, a little less maybe with the second, but they're only 12 months apart. Yeah. Then I tend to grow. Like, I've made all the mistakes, so I'm doing it better with her.
Yeah.
And it's been like, people are going to be blown away by this conversation that I had with my youngest daughter. She's 10. And her name is Hadley. It literally means from a field of heather. She's legit. She's got red hair and blue eyes, but you copy paste everything else about her, and she is me. She's on a soccer field the other day on the team that I coach, and she was getting very frustrated on the field. Like, I saw her tense up. She was like missing some footwork, but like her missing her footwork, her not being at her 100% is still better than everybody else's 100% by far. Not everybody. I shouldn't say everybody. That's a big term. I don't mean everybody, but what I'm saying is that
she has high expectations.
She holds herself to a very high level of competition. However, I don't care how she plays. I care how she leads, and I care how she follows. And I love that you made that before, because whenever I've gone into a parent-teacher conference with all of my children, especially when they started getting into middle school, like after I was away from my ex-husband, they would talk about their grades. They would talk about those things. And I would say, I really don't give a shit about that. Like, how are they as a human? Are they inclusive? Are they good leaders and good followers? Because in order to be a good leader, you need to be a good follower also. Like I know my role in both. Like there are times where I need to say, yes, sir, I've got this for you. I'm your follower. You're making the decision. But at the other times I just need to make the decision. So
That's
she's on the field.
So good, by the way. That just fucking hit me in the face. Go on. I could learn
Tell your daughter that.
No, I took that for me.
Good. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So, she's on the field and I'm like disappointed with the way she's acting because everybody feeds off her energy. And I know that. And that's a lot for her to be self-aware about at 10. And I 100% realize that. But I also understand it's a teachable moment. So I'm trying to hold myself back from reacting, but now she's like slowing down the field. She's not being a good team player. Like she's great as far as passing and doing those things, but the way she's acting is deteriorating the way the rest of the team is playing. And I see it. And so I let it kind of go. But like when she's not moving, I'm like, what are you doing? Like get to work. Just like I would tell, and I'm a little harder on her because I can be. So we're walking back to the car and my friend Ashley and her friend Noelle, we're all very, very close. Ashley's like a sister to me. Her daughter calls me Aunt Heather. And so they're like, hey, Hadley can ride back with us because it's a long ride. I'm like, that's cool. I'm like, I need some time away from her anyway. And Hadley looks at me like I just shot her in the fucking heart. She's like, what do you mean? And I was like, I'm disappointed in you right now. I go, I need a little space. Go with your friends. Go with Aunt Ashley. We'll talk later. Doesn't have to be right now. And so
I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed.
Yeah. Yeah. And she goes, I know it's not in the way I played. I know it's in the way I acted. And I was like, good. Which means she knows that I don't care how she plays as long as her attitude is good. Not 2 minutes in a separate car ride, she messaged me. Now she's 10. I don't know adults that act like this. She sends me a message. She goes, Mommy, I'm sorry for the way that I acted on the field. Mm-hmm. I realize that the way I acted brought down the rest of my team, and I'm really sorry. It won't happen again. And I respond back to her. I go, while your apology is accepted, it's not approved, or your actions are not approved. I go, we've had this conversation and I'm growing you, and my expectations of you are big because you are meant for more. Whatever that more is what you're going to define. I don't care how you play, but how you act is something that you can control. You can't control how anybody else acts and reacts to you. I go, your actions are completely in your control, and I can't control that. And she's like, I understand and I'm sorry and I will do better. And like at 10 years old,
core values are so important, and not even in just, I mean, as a leader, it absolutely makes sense to talk about core values and drill them in and just be so redundant and almost be annoying about it. But it's because you can look back at childhood, metaphors, experiences, and realize that like that's actually really grounding to know that like there's this thing that anchors me in everything that I do, and also that it doesn't have to do with performance. It has to do with character.
Amen. Such a good word. Like your integrity is shown when people are watching and when they're not.
Bro, these fucking 10-year-olds.
But she's
that's insane. That's insane.
I know. She holds herself more accountable than most of the people that I know. And
good for her.
And I see how that resonates in the kids that she's around at school, because every boy is in love with her and every girl wants to be friends with her. And she holds other people accountable.
Because it equates to safety.
She's just authentic.
But that is what's safe to us humans, is like whatever is real, especially now in a world where like AI is everywhere. We gravitate towards real, like authenticness or authenticity. I think that that's really, really important. Okay. I feel like we could literally talk
days.
I know.
Forever. I know.
We just got like a subtle notification that our
Can we book
up.
this again for 5 a.m. tomorrow?
I really appreciate that. You should have come in earlier because I feel like we went past our hour.
No, you guys are good.
Okay. We didn't even talk about the summit.
We didn't. Let's do it very quickly. Do we have 5 minutes? Thanks, Tyler.
Okay.
Tyler is the man behind the screen, and we're going to give a shout out to him. However, I did ask him if my fupa started the show, if he would let me know. And he's like, I'm too much of a gentleman. So we're going to have to work on that.
We'll edit it. It's fine if it's there.
I love that.
Okay. So we are hosting. So TAC Mobility, I decided talking about breaking out of mindsets, I was like, I want to offer a space for women in law enforcement to do their fucking thing. I want women to have the same like equal opportunity to explore specialties. The people that I meet that are having the most fun in their jobs as a cop are people that are in a specialty. And I think that it really comes down to time on and also who you know. And if you're not in, you're not going to be at the top of the list. It's kind of, I wish it wasn't so, but it is. So put together 2 days of just performance nurturing activities. And we're talking, I brought Heather in to do jujitsu.
Which is funny because I thought I was coming in for leadership. And then all of a sudden the flyer comes out. I'm like, bitch, why am I teaching jujitsu?
She's doing jujitsu and weapons retention. You're going to weave in leadership all throughout
amen.
the whole thing.
Yeah.
But you're here to do that. Tell us a little bit about what your approach is going to be over the next, you've got a 4-hour course that you're teaching. What are you going to be doing?
So I'm going to put the haters at bay real quick, even though they're still going to go, because people are going to comment on this and be like, why is it women only? I love that question.
Let me just say this right now. I don't give a fuck. Okay. I've been to enough police conferences where I walk in and I realize, oh, this is not for girls because there's 4 in the room. So if we can create something just for women and you boys are getting upset, kiss my ass. You can tell my boss. And guess what? My boss is me. Okay, go on.
No, but like they're going to be like, oh, why are you having defensive tactics with all women? Like, oh, the criminals are big man. That's great. I'm not saying that our 4-hour block of training is going to be the only training people should have. Like, it shouldn't just be women against women, but like, I am not going to go to a range and ask a man, hey, what was it like when you put the gun belt on for the first time after a C-section? You're not going to be able to tell me, just like I'm not going to come to you and be like, what was it like when you had testicular cancer? Like, I can't relate. So I love that there's this inclusive space and I don't think there's an issue with it. But tomorrow I'm very much going to lead the whole entire thing from a place of vulnerability, from all the fears that I ever had with training, all the fears that I've had as a female, because I can only attest to what it's like being a cop as a female on the job. When you deal with a bigger man or you deal with a bigger woman or you have to fight, or what it sounds like with your voice on the BWC and all of these things. Like, I want to talk the way our hips move and why we've always been made to feel in this society that we're not allowed to be strong and heavy. Like, bitch, we're going to be heavy tomorrow and I'm going to teach girls how to be heavy and to maintain control and use their bodies to control. And listen, I'm not saying jujitsu saves lives. It can. I'm saying it gives us the ability to learn how to breathe, to think, to react, and to be able to use position.
Self-fucking trust, bro.
Bitch.
Self-trust. Like, that's the thing. Like, you have control over what is going to happen.
No.
But can you trust that you're going to be okay?
Yeah. It's building blocks. I can't teach a lot in 4 hours, but there's going to be connection. And that's the most important part, because I guarantee you, out of the 30 people coming tomorrow, I will have a handful of people that will continue to reach out to me just because. And that's what I love, that they can come to Jersey and be like, oh my God, I know Heather. I'm going to call her and we're going to go to get a beer.
Bitch, people bought tickets because your name is on there.
That's not
like,
true.
Ow.
I mean, I'll take it.
Okay. I'm very, very excited. We will be doing this again.
We sure will.
We sold out. And
then opened up more tickets because there was a waiting list.
I did. So we will be doing this again. So do not fret. Heather, thank you so much.
As I eat our cherries.
Yes. Thank you so much for joining me for the podcast, for coming out from New Jersey to do
love
the
you
summit.
beyond.
And I look forward to it. For the rest of you that want to get in contact with Heather, how do they do so?
So I'm not going to put my cell phone out there, but what I can tell you is that I'm
socials,
all
please.
over my Instagram. So it is Heather_empowered policing, empowered as in I've already empowered you. So keep going, empowered, because I want you empowered. That's what you should be. I'm on LinkedIn, Heather Glogolich. Yeah, I mean, that's the easiest way I'm all over my Instagram all the time, like more so than my text messages. So hit me up, whatever you need. And when I say that genuinely. I can 100% like, you message me and how long does it take for me to get back to you?
Seconds.
That's annoying to my family. Don't call me between the hours of 10 p.m. and 4 a.m. I will not pick up. But if you text message me, I will get back to you, because homegirl's up at 4 a.m. for jujitsu.
That's true.
And maybe I'm up a little bit later for a Yankees game, but that's about it.
Oh my God.
Because I love the New York Yankees. Like, I love them. And if you're listening, I love you so much. Like the Yankee, my next tattoo is a Yankees tattoo. That's
Oh my
it. I had
God.
to say it. Yeah.
I've never met a girl that likes baseball. Okay, we're gonna end it on that.
Okay.
I surprised her. Thank you guys so much for watching. Heather, you're the best.
I love you so much.
Okay. Oh my God.